Hello, my name is James, I'm the Mayor of Jamestown, and today I'm going to be discussing Update 3.4, or at the very least the characters that will be coming in Update 3.4, and whether or not they are worth your time. Now this won't take too long, because in essence, yes, pretty much for all of them, which isn't great, because obviously that requires quite a substantial amount of Primo Gems. So as you can see here, I have, in essence, everyone that's coming in Update 3.4. I don't have Xiao, so Heizu has to make do. And obviously Alhaitham doesn't exist yet. So Keqing is there, and I'll discuss why Keqing is there in a moment. It'll all make sense very quickly. So let's start off with the two characters I actually own. We've got Hu Tao. Hu Tao is a character that I've gone on record many times saying that I am not a massive fan of, partly due to the fact that I don't have her Constellation 1, which is kind of a necessity if you really want to optimize her damage, because unfortunately her charge attacks are kind of her best damage output. So having her C1 is usually a very good additional part to the character, because you do not want to consume stamina while charge attacking, because if you charge attack and then if you spacebar to jump, then it's not so bad, it makes sense, and you can use the spacebar alternative to get out of these. Let me just quickly demonstrate. Like, you can do this really quickly. It takes a bit of getting used to, but I don't always do that. I end up doing, you know, this, and then I'll dash, and then I'll dash again, and then I'll dash again, and then eventually I have no stamina, and then I'm just doing basic attacks. And as lovely as the basic attacks look, they don't do as much damage as her charge attack. That's just fact, unfortunately. So her C1 is kind of necessary in some regards. If you just want the character to have fun with them, go for it. They do a ton of damage with, like, melt, vaporize, all that kind of stuff. It's the only reason I use Hu Tao now, is that I slotted her into a melt team for the first time and had a lot of fun, and she does big damage numbers, and it is lovely. I think some people make the argument that her C2 is also fairly relevant, which I think is fair to say is actually a pretty solid C2, but considering that you have to spend like $100 to $200 or pounds, depending on how you want to look at it, just to get a new constellation, I'm sticking at C0 for forever, basically. Then we have Yelan, who is by far one of my favourite characters in the entire game, without a single shadow of a doubt. Yelan is basically Xingqiu, but slightly different and slightly better. She's 5-star Xingqiu, but she's really good 5-star Xingqiu, because her ult is not that one. Her ult is literally just Xingqiu, but faster and more damaging, and just everything about Yelan is fantastic. You don't need her at C anything. C0 is perfectly fine. I will always make the claim that C0 is more than enough for every character. If you just want the character to play with, then do that. The game there is no end game if you count Spiral Abyss, and what happens if you don't do Spiral Abyss? You miss out on like 300 Primo Gems. Oh no. Anyways, so yeah, her constellations I don't think are that relevant. To be honest, I've never even looked at them. Yelan is just fantastic in every single way. You can't tell me otherwise. Yelan is a staple in pretty much every single team known to man, and she can do this. I would just like to point out, I never kill Timmy's pigeons. I know it's the meme, but yeah, felt the need. Hi, Timmy. No, I did more than scare the pigeons away. It's time to duel.
It's time to duel!
No, not today, Timmy. I need to get back and do the card game, because the card game is actually shockingly fun. I was very surprised at how well they did that. So yeah, that's Yelan. Yelan is fantastic. If you want a very strong Hydro sub DPS, Yelan is phenomenal. Same with Hu Tao. If you need a Pyro main DPS, Hu Tao is very good. Again, be wary of her playstyle. I'm not a massive fan of it myself. I don't use her for a lot of content. I I mean, I'm a Tartag main, so, you know, it speaks for itself. But yeah, I use Hu Tao fairly sparingly, but I have learnt to enjoy her more and more as sort of the year has gone by. But I don't see myself ever getting her C1, but that's Hu Tao. That's on you. You decide. Next up, we have Xiao. Obviously, I don't have Xiao. I can't really speak for Xiao. From every time Xiao comes around, he's always paired with another character that I want. So, for instance, he was paired with Shenhua one time, and then I think another time he was paired with Yelan, and obviously I went for Shenhua and Yelan because they were both new characters at the time. When it comes to Xiao, every time I look at him, he looks like a lot of fun, and I want to add him to the team, but he always comes paired with another character that I'd prefer over him. And honestly, I don't know if he's getting to the point where he's starting to become slightly outdated or getting power crept, because obviously Xiao's main gimmick is you lament and then you jump and then plunge attack, and as fun as that gameplay seems to be for a little while, I can see it getting quite tiresome. But I know people that have Xiao are like, Xiao is a ton of fun, and I've always wanted Xiao mainly because I like his design, and obviously edgy characters are always very fun. But I hate to say it, Xiao, but I don't see myself pulling for you this time around. I'm kind of in a saving midst at the moment, which sucks, because I do really want Xiao at some point, but I just can never see myself committing enough to trying for him. I tried for him once, it didn't go well, and after that I've just kind of been like, well, if he's always going to be paired with another character that people really want, Xiao's just going to continually get screwed over. But there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, Xiao, very solid Animo main DPS. He's, you know, he's Xiao. You can look at his gameplay if you know you enjoy him. If you like doing this every 2 seconds with big Animo damage numbers, I'm sure you'll have fun with him. And I know the new set, I don't know if the new Animo set is better or worse on him. Again, as someone who doesn't have him, I don't know. I've also not farmed the new set, so I don't know. But yeah, that's Xiao. Now, for the slightly more controversial one, or Keqing 2.0, or Grass Keqing, Dendro Keqing, I don't really know what you want to call it. But, weirdly, Alhaitham has basically the entire kit that Keqing does, which is really, really weird. And I don't think a lot of people are a big fan of it. I know I'm certainly not. Ever since I saw Alhaitham, I was like, I need this character in my party. But after seeing, I accidentally came across his leaked footage, and then the trailer dropped, and I'm like, oh no, he's just Keqing. And I get it. There's a lot of characters in this game. There's going to be tons more. I'm 100% certain of that. And there's going to be some overlap with abilities. I mean, Yelan is essentially Xingqiu 2.0, but people still love Yelan. But obviously, Xingqiu is a 4-star, Yelan is a 5-star, Keqing is a 5-star, and so is Alhaitham. But Alhaitham has the E, fairly similar. I'm pretty sure it imbues as well. The attacks, obviously, the animations are different, although the charge attack is also like a quick slice type deal. And the ult is very similar, it's just a bunch of green slashes, but kind of looks cooler and more updated. But yeah, Alhaitham just looks like a green version of Keqing, which I can see why people would be, I don't know, hesitant to pull him if you're just pulling a character that's similar to Keqing. I really want Alhaitham, but I don't want a character that plays similar to another one, with the exception of Yelan, because Yelan is very good. But ever since accidentally coming across the leaks and just seeing how similar he is to Keqing, I'm just not that interested in him anymore. And I hate to say it, I think I might be skipping, which is Sacrilege, because I've been saying for months, oh, I can't wait until Alhaitham drops. I'm going to pull him, make sure I get him. But I want a new character that feels new. Now, my opinion may completely change when he comes out and I try his test run, and he turns out to be a ton of fun. Because ultimately, if the character feels like fun, then I'm going to want to build for them, or buy them, or at least attempt to buy them. As it stands, I can understand why people are frustrated that it's basically just ka-ching again. Obviously, there's going to be some differences. The element is completely different. The animations are different. The damage scaling is also, I imagine, going to be very different. And we don't really know where he stands in terms of, like, strength until he comes out. And we don't know how fun he's going to be, again, until he actually comes out in 3.4, which is in, like, 10 days. But as it stands, just looking at his sort of kit, I'm not too interested in pulling for him. But maybe the test run will prove me wrong. And if so, there'll be a pulling video for him to see if I can grab him. And if not, well, I will be very upset. Little bit worried about Alhaitham. I'll try his test run. If he's a ton of fun, I'm definitely going to pull for him. But as it stands, I'm not too fussed about getting him anymore, which is a shame. On the upside, it means I can save more Prima Gems and more wishes, which is lovely. In a nutshell, Yelan, incredible sub DPS. If you don't own her, you're doing yourself a disservice. She's incredibly useful. Xiao, great pyro main DPS. I'm not the biggest fan of her playstyle myself, but I know some people are, and her damage numbers are really high. Xiao, at this point, he's getting a little bit peaked out by other Animo users, I feel, but still, fun character, fun main DPS. Alhaitham, don't currently know where he stands in terms of strength and how fun he's going to be as an actual character, but if you played ka-ching's kit and loved it, he's probably going to be just as fun to you. If you played ka-ching's kit and went, nah, this ain't for me, he may not be the character for you. But again, we're only going to know when he finally comes out in a couple of weeks. So I guess we will have to see what happens there. Anyways, I have been James, the Mayor of Jamestown. Thank you for all those that stuck around to the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I hope you have a happy new year, and until next time, goodbye.